Coming up on WUFT's First at 5, Tropical Storm Umberto forms, making it the 8th named storm of the season and the 2nd named storm currently out in the Atlantic.
Plus, why a rainbow sidewalk was removed in downtown Gainesville just a day after it was painted, and the questions it's sparking in the community.
And a local teacher may soon not be allowed to teach in Florida after claims she targeted a student over his conservative beliefs. WUFT's First at 5 starts now.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Alachua County Public Schools were on the hot seat today when state educators discussed several items they deemed inappropriate behavior by local teachers. This is WFT's First at 5. I'm Carolina Tortorelli.
And I'm Juan Chaoui. The first, a high school teacher could have her license terminated after a parent says she gave one of her students an award that labeled him a dictator.
Yeah, WFT's Oriana Torre is live at Gainesville High School, where Lauren Watts is on administrative leave. Oriana, the state board was adamant about Watts never teaching in Florida again.
And they are actively working on how to make her administrative leave permanent. This all started back in August when a complaint about the history teacher's lessons fell flat. Crystal Marul filed a complaint against Watts after nominating her son most likely to become a dictator. She showed this award at the state board's meeting on August 21st. She says students were allowed to label her son as, quote, Nazi-phile. Marul says her son was targeted due to his conservative views. During today's meeting, Florida's Commissioner of Education said they have enough evidence against Watts to take permanent action.
I'm happy to report that after the Office of Professional Practices Services conducted an investigation into the matter, I found probable cause against that educator's certificate and will take every necessary action to ensure that this teacher never teaches again.
A spokesperson for ACPS released a statement and says the district is investigating the incident that shared by Dr. Marul during the August 20 State Board of Education meeting. The employee involved has been placed on administrative leave while the investigation is underway. Dr. Marul works at the University of Florida as a coordinator for the online Spanish program. I reached out to her for comment about the teacher's possible license removal. When I hear back, I will bring that to you. Live from GHS, Oriana Torre, WUFT News.
Also on the state board's agenda, the controversial comments of ACPS board chair Sarah Rockwell. Back in July, Rockwell posted on Facebook discussing the death of wrestler Hulk Hogan, saying, quote, "One less MAGA in the world." The post has since been deleted and Rockwell apologized, but during today's meeting, pressure came from state leaders for Rockwell to resign.
State leaders had another school board member in their sights today, too. Vice Chair Tina Cerdan is getting pushback for making a social media post criticizing Charlie Kirk. Alachua County's Republican Chairman Tim Martin and U.S. Congresswoman Kat Kamek both shared Cerdan's post online, with thousands of angry commenters responding. Cerdan wrote in part, quote, "He was an organization because a millionaire gave him money and connections to start it. To see the feds and state elevate him angers me," end quote. Martin says he thinks Governor DeSantis could remove Cerdan from her school board seat.
There is no reason for somebody like her to continue in office. I mean, it's a very racist comment, but she has a history of being racist. So again, I'm not surprised, but her pride will get in the way. She will not resign. And she'd rather be fired so she can use that as political fodder.
Board of Education officials slammed Cerdan's comment at their meeting today. WUFT reached out to Alachua County school officials for a comment, but have not heard back. In other news, just a few weeks ago, the Atlantic was quiet from any named storms, but now there are 2 named storms with maybe even a 3rd on the way. UF forecaster Matthew Clark is live here in the studio to tell us if any of these threats are to North Central Florida.
The good news is not for now, but we're going to continue to watch. Hurricane Gabrielle, which has been out there for over a week now, is downgraded to a Category 2, so no longer a major hurricane, racing east at almost 30 miles per hour. So the good news is it's going to stay in the North Atlantic, but it could impact land, it could impact the Azores, and then the remnants moving even as far east as Spain. Tropical storm Umberto just formed as of 5 p.m. 40 miles per hour winds, very disorganized storm currently well to the northeast of the Leeward Islands, but is expected to move its way off to the northwest and rapidly intensify into a strong Category 2 by early next week. Most models have it recurving off to the North Atlantic. Bermuda is going to need to watch that one. The one we're going to watch closer to home, Invest 94, 80% chance of development over the next 7 days. Expected to move anywhere in this area pretty close to home, so we're going to continue to monitor this as we head into the weekend and next week. The big news here, though, is it's hot. Coming up in a few minutes, I'll have just how hot it has been and how long these temps are going to last.
Thank you, Matthew. A substitute teacher is under investigation after they allegedly used inappropriate language and physical aggression on students in a South Ocala elementary school classroom. Needless to say, parents like Londi Wilson are shocked.
I'm very upset about the whole situation. We were notified by our children first. We have gone to the principal. I do have a call in to some people from the school board.
The principal issued a statement saying they have been made aware of the situation and are working closely with district officials to, quote, ensure proper steps are taken, end quote. We also spoke over the phone with Kevin Christian, the communications director of Marion County School Board. He said they are investigating the situation, speaking to parents and children, but cannot share any more information at this time. He also mentioned that anytime someone connected with the school is under investigation, they are not allowed on campus.
Troopers are searching for the hit-and-run driver they say killed a pedestrian in Ocala last night. The crash happened in the westbound lanes of State Road 200. Investigators say the pedestrian was pronounced dead on the scene. Troopers say the vehicle is a dark, full-size van with a topper that has a front-end damage. If anyone has any information, please contact the Florida Highway Patrol.
And in other car crash news, Ocala Police Department is investigating after a two-vehicle crash resulted in one dead and another with potential serious injuries. Officials say the deceased driver veered into oncoming traffic on East Springs Boulevard near Dunkin' Donuts. The driver hit was taken to the hospital.
And detectives are investigating after a dead body was found near a Publix in Gainesville earlier today. Witnesses say a man was taken out of the car in the parking lot near the location on Main Street. The story is developing, and we will continue to provide updates as we receive more information.
New at 5, the charter conversion of Newberry Elementary just cleared another key hurdle. Florida's State Board of Education voted today to approve the conversion. This comes after the Florida Charter School Review Commission approved their application earlier this year. But then ACPS appealed, and that appeal was denied last month. Newberry Elementary will convert into Newberry Community School and is expected to open next fall.
Also happening in Newberry, city officials and local veterans united, committing to safeguarding the Veteran Memorial in Lois Fort Park following the theft of flags back in August. The crime sparked outrage from community members as the flags represent the pride, sacrifice, and service of our veterans. As a result, U.S. Congresswoman Mack joined city officials to present replacement flags.
Levy County residents can expect higher tax rates as commissioners just approved a new property tax rate of 8.75 mils for the next fiscal year. This is more than a 12% increase from 8.25 mils last year. County leaders say this jump is needed to ensure financial stability and emergency preparedness. However, many locals say the jump will hit too hard and too fast.
Parents are speaking out about their concerns over expansion plans for Micanopy Area Cooperative School. The town's Planning and Historic Board did not hold its scheduled meeting on Tuesday due to a lack of presence member. But that did not stop around 50 residents from voicing their opinions inside the town hall. The board will review the site plan at a meeting on October 7th.
We need croquetas.
Ahead at 5, the unique journey of a local popular bakery and how it is recently under new ownership, all while still serving the community.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
A state order led to the removal of colorful crosswalks in several cities, sparking strong reactions. Some calling it an overreach by the state. The governor calls it in line. WUFT's Isabella Heipel joins us live to tell us how one sidewalk's pride flag removal has been received by downtown Gainesville neighbors.
JC, I'm here at the site where residents say they were offended by the city's quick removal of the sidewalk paint. When I spoke with local business owners today, they said they also disagree with the city's decision. The Florida Department of Transportation's order to remove all decorative crosswalks impacted cities across the state. Local business owner Celino Dimitrov says it sends a message.
We don't care We don't care about your joy.
On the corner of Southeast 5th Avenue and Main Street, a rainbow sidewalk appeared earlier this week, but by the next day, the colors were gone. Now that discussion is over, what that decision means for the community.
Obscurely, I can see like, oh, maybe a crosswalk or something like that where, it might distract somebody. And I mean, honestly, there's no reports of anybody getting run over by a car because they were too busy looking at the rainbow or anything.
Gainesville Mayor Harvey Ward doesn't agree, but says the state threatened actions against the city if it didn't comply.
While it is unpalatable, and while it is politically motivated, and while it is something that is a massive overreach of state and federal government, they gave us a choice. We could keep the crosswalks or we could keep the funding.
On social media, Governor Ron DeSantis commented, "We will not allow our state roads to be commandeered for political purposes." City leaders say they don't have the power to stop FDOT's mandates, but when I spoke with local business owners today, they said they will find other ways to make their voices heard. Live in Gainesville, Isabella Heipel, WUFT News.
Well, the tropics went from 0 to 60 real quick over the past couple of weeks. There are 3 areas that we are going to be monitoring. I will have what you need to know about the tropics after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
We're following breaking news out of Ocala, where police have arrested a woman they say made threats to Meadowbrook Academy, a private school. Less than 30 minutes ago, police announced the arrest of 30-year-old Oksana Deputat. Investigators say she made the post early this morning, alluding to the threat of a school shooting. Investigators say she is a former student of the school. Officers say they acted quickly and were able to secure the campus. She's been charged with threatening to conduct a mass shooting.
Now, from working at UF Health to owning a bakery, a Gainesville couple made a drastic change to their careers.
That's right, Carolina. WUFT's Isabella Reynoso says the move is paying off as their bakery mixes the old feels of previous owners with new Cuban flavors.
A new era has started for this 10-year-old Gainesville bakery.
Continue providing to the community and working hard.
Alain Pedrero and Danai Diaz went from the operating room to the kitchen. This married couple from Miami is now following the tradition of the bakery they now own, while adding new flavors immersed in their Cuban heritage.
We're trying to add a little bit of the Cuban Miami culture here. Definitely, I know my husband's going to start frying croquetas soon. We need croquetas.
In the heart of Gainesville, BakerBaker wakes up the city with sweet treats known all over the world. But they want customers to act fast as they sell out before noon. And while the shop has changed owners, this standard and pledge to the community remains.
It just feels like home. It's like a second home. And it's very integral to the community around here.
Around 4 months ago, they bought the bakery. A drastic change after working as radiologists for UF Health.
This is definitely different.
Something different.
After taking lessons from the previous owners, it took the duo just 1 month to perfect the art of baking.
They left in July and we've been on our own ever since.
Now they wake up before the sun to start their day, and by noon, they are sold out of the fresh pastries.
There's a lot of sacrifice. Getting up at midnight, starting to work about 1:40 in the morning.
The sacrifice is paying off, as customers felt the transition was a smooth one, and some have already tried their new Cuban-inspired pastries.
We love it. Anything guava, like the guava and cheese and everything.
Reporting from Gainesville, Isabella Reynoso, WUFT News.
Welcome back to the studio, WUFT forecaster Matthew Clark. Matthew, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast that there are already 2 active named storms.
And now there's possibly a third. Tell us what's going on.
Well, on September 10th, there was nothing out there. That was the peak of hurricane season. And now there are 2 active named storms and a third potentially brewing. So we have Gabrielle, Humberto, and the next named storm on that list would be the I named storm, which is Imelda. So here is Humberto, here is Gabrielle, and here is Invest 94 expected to move its way into this area, starting with Hurricane Gabrielle. It was a major Category 4 storm, but is now downgraded to a Category 2 storm with winds of 100 miles per hour, racing to the east of almost 30 miles per hour. So it is moving very quickly out in the North Atlantic. It could affect the Azores as early as Friday morning as a Cat 1, and the remnants could even impact Spain as we head into early next week. No threats to our area here. Tropical storm Umberto just formed as of 5 p.m. Winds of only 40 miles per hour, just a weak tropical storm, but is expected to move its way off to the northwest and gradually intensify to a strong Category 2 storm as soon as early as Monday. That's 110 miles per hour. A Category 3 requires 111, so would not be shocked to see this become a major Category 3 storm as we head into next week. The one we're monitoring a little bit closer to home is Invest 94 with an 80% chance over the next 7 days. Expected to move anywhere in this area near the Bahamas. The Lesser Antilles and the U.S. Virgin Islands are going to be experiencing lots of rain from this disorganized group of showers and storms, and we're going to be monitoring it here closely to the Atlantic coast. Models show lots of uncertainty along the eastern seaboard. Most models have Umberto moving all the way off to the North Atlantic. That is good news out there, but still lots of uncertainty with Invest 94. So just a few tropical takeaways. No threats to land at this time. It's important to watch closely over the next few days once we get a little bit more information about Invest 94, and these forecasts are, of course, subject to change. The big threat to our area right now is heat. If you're watching this, it's actually fall. You would think this is the middle of July. It is 93 degrees out there, and it's feeling even hotter. 96 in Gainesville, feels like 97 in Ocala, 97 in Stark. Palaco is feeling like 103 degrees this afternoon, so the triple digits were feeling like pretty hot out there this afternoon. Unfortunately, we're 3 days into fall, and it's still feeling like the thick of summer. There are a few tiny pop-up showers and storms to our west near Gilchrist and southern Columbia County, as well as Levy and parts of western Marion County. Some of these storms could creep their way further inland as we head into the dinner hours, so still could see an isolated thunderstorm or two as we head into tonight. And then tomorrow we have about another 40% chance of rain, more afternoon thunderstorms. Very summer-like pattern out there. This is tomorrow, 92 as the high. Afternoon thunderstorms, most of those afternoon thunderstorms are going to push their way further to the east of 75, so mainly along the coast. But for the most part, again, it's just feeling like summer out there. Tomorrow, 92, more afternoon thunderstorms on the way, 40% chance of rain, but a cold front is moving its way through. Unfortunately, not going to be bringing us any cold air. It's bringing in lots of severe weather to the Mississippi River Valley, and this is going to continue to push its way down towards the southeast. This is tomorrow afternoon, still bringing in lots of severe weather to Georgia. There's your afternoon thunderstorms here in Florida. But then those rain chances bump up to about 60% as we head into Friday afternoon, as this front starts to move its way down in towards our area and bringing us some heavy downpours and thunderstorms for Friday and parts of Saturday. So that front is also what we're going to be watching as we head into the back half of the weekend. It just depend on where the steering currents of those two tropical systems. But after the front, we drop back into the 90s and lots of sunshine.
A handful of question marks surround Florida football after they suffered a third straight loss to Miami, including the health of quarterback DJ Lagway. The Gators QB1 was reported to be in a walking boot earlier this week with a minor toe injury. The question is, will he be back before the Longhorns come to town? Head coach Billy Napier will tell us right after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome to sports. I'm Hannah Mack. DJ Lagway has caught the injury bug yet again. The true sophomore was reportedly in a walking boot following the Gators' loss to Miami. WUFT's Hannah Gitman is live at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium with the Lagway injury update. Hannah, it seems like DJ's health has been a concern for his entire career here at Florida.
Yes, it has. Gator fans have been fearful of the status of their QB1, but head coach Billy Napier says that this time they have nothing to be worried about. Lagway has the week to regroup before the Gators host Texas on October 4th. It will be the Texas native's first time playing his hometown team in his career. Last season, he was out with an injury for the Gators matchup against the Longhorns. Texas dominated in that one, winning 49-17. But as Billy Napier said, the sophomore will be ready to go for the rematch next weekend. Before I send it back to you, Hannah, Napier also announced that cornerback Dijon Johnson will miss the remainder of the season. He underwent surgery Tuesday after suffering an injury against Miami. Live from Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, I'm Hannah Getman, WUFT Sports.
The SEC announced the opponents and sites for Florida's conference games for the next 4 seasons on Tuesday. After years of tough schedules, the Gators matchups get a little bit easier in 2026. Florida's home opponents include South Carolina, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, and Oklahoma. The Gators will travel to take on Kentucky, Auburn, Missouri, and Texas. When Florida does meet Georgia, the game will be in Atlanta due to renovations to the Jaguars Stadium. In 2027, the iconic rivalry will be in Tampa before heading back to Jacksonville. Notably, meetings against Tennessee and LSU will be on the Gators' schedule in 2027 and 2029. Here's some good news for Gator fans. Desmond Watson is getting a second chance with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Watson was signed to their practice squad Tuesday. Watson signed with the Bucks as an undrafted free agent after the NFL draft, but was waived last month ahead of the roster cut deadline. Now the 400-plus pound defensive tackle gets another shot thanks to physical progress the team saw. Big Dez is back right before Tampa faces Philadelphia, who is known for the tush push. High school volleyball is in full swing around North Central Florida, but some teams are spiking harder than others. Williston came to Gainesville last night to face Oak Hall. The Eagles took an early lead after set 1, but the Red Devils won the next 2 sets thanks to blocking up front. Despite their efforts, the home team prevailed through 5 sets, snapping a 2-game losing streak. Other matchups in the area included Trenton taking down Bronson 3 sets to 1, Newberry swept Interlochen, and The Rock prevailed against Santa Fe. But the Raiders will look to bounce back tomorrow night in a rivalry matchup against the Buchholz Bobcats. First set is at 7. Former pitcher Hunter Barco made his major league debut on Tuesday. The Pittsburgh Pirates called his number ahead of their series against the Cincinnati Reds. He entered the game in the bottom of the 6th inning and produced a scoreless frame. The Pirates won 4-2, and Barco was credited with the victory. We'll have one final look at weather after the break.
Welcome back. We're tracking a few increased chances of afternoon storms as we head into the next couple of days. Some of them are from front related, but it does not hurt to have an umbrella with you if you're going out over the next couple of days. Then we got sunshine and more 90s after that front.
Thanks, Matthew, and thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of First at 5.
But your North Central Florida news is always on at WUFT.org and our social media platforms. Have a good night.